Welcome to this quick no-frills overview of Google Forms, the free app in G Suite that you and your students can use to collect data online. You can use it for surveys, questionnaires, and even quizzes. I created a self-reflection survey for a PBL team collaboration the other day, and I'll show you how quickly you can put a form like that together. There are several ways to get to forms, but the best is probably from your Google Drive, because any forms you create will be saved there anyway. So be sure you're logged into your Google account and go to Drive. Use the New button on the top left to create a new form. The New button has changed looks over the years, but it still functions the same way. Click on it, scroll down past Docs, Sheets, and Slides, and hover over More until the secondary menu appears. Select Forms, which should be at the top. Forms opens to an editable template with click and drag features. Just about everything is editable. To get started, create a name for your survey. I'll use Team Collaboration Rubric. You can include a description as well. It's good practice to name your file so you can find it in Drive. Otherwise, you'll end up with a lot of untitled forms clogging up your Drive. Like other Google documents, once you have a title, just click on the file name and it'll update your title. Now you can add your survey questions. Form defaults to adding a multiple choice question, but you can easily change it with this drop-down menu. You can see there are short and long answer question types, different kinds of forced choice types, and even a way for students to upload a file, like an essay or presentation file. The first question on my survey was a short answer question, so I'm going to change it. Then I'll add another question with the plus icon in the question menu. It floats up and down the page to wherever you're working. You probably know how multiple choice questions work, and checkboxes are like multiple choice, but you can select all the responses that apply. The question menu also includes options for adding images or YouTube videos. Some question types also support images in the responses. My survey included a few questions that I asked students to rate using a Likert type scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. In Forms, that's a multiple choice grid. So let's change the question type and create a few questions. I'm going to put my answer choices in the columns. So my first choice was strongly disagree. For younger kids or students who may need learning or language accommodations, you could use a regular multiple choice format and insert images. So you could make the responses emoticons, like a frowny face for disagree and a smiley face for agree, or pictures, whatever is helpful. I'm sure you can see how adding images could be a benefit. Back to my survey. With my options done, I'll then put my questions or statements in the rows. I'll just do a couple like, my team met its goal. And so on. I had a few more things to rate on my original survey, but you get the idea. Let's wrap it up with a question that encourages student reflection and metacognition. I'll click on the new question icon and choose paragraph text, which is a long answer. My question is, you can add more questions or different types of questions. You can make any question required or not, and even turn the form into a quiz with score values. But just to save time, let's look at a few more basic features. Forms has a default color palette and theme, but you can easily change that by scrolling up to the palette icon and customize your theme. You can add images if you want to, but the easiest change is just to pick a different color. I like blue, so there. You can preview your form using the eye icon. This is helpful to see what your respondents will see. Under the settings icon, you have options like collecting email addresses from respondents or limiting how many times they can respond. You can even customize what respondents see when they're done with your survey, or you can even turn it into a quiz. But all that's for another time. When you're ready, it's easy to share your form. Select the Send button and choose whether you want to share it via email, to send a URL, to share on Facebook or Twitter, or you can even embed a form into a website, like a Google site you've created for your class. I'm just going to get a URL and copy it. If I open a new tab, I can paste in my URL, and then I can quickly finish my survey. Agree. And one thing I learned was, and submit. If I go back to my editable version, I can see now that I have a response. Form shows data charts and open-ended response text. For many purposes, that may be sufficient, but you can also download all the data to a Google Sheets spreadsheet that will automatically refresh as more responses come in. That's it. You can get more sophisticated with forms with branching logic, collaborators, and other features, but that should be enough to get you started with your first Google form. Go out and give it a try.